All right, guys, welcome back everybody to Altcoin Daily, where of course you subscribe for our daily videos, keeping you informed on everything that goes on with Bitcoin, crypto, the whole market. So I want to continue our analysis on, well, here's the thing. If you've been following us for a while, you probably have a similar mindset to me in that you realize the value that Bitcoin has, which makes you an early adopter. This puts us all in the unique position where we can kind of see that because Bitcoin is unconfiscatable and permissionless and unprintable, and there really is no single point of failure, while everybody else thinks that Bitcoin's a bubble and it's only been around for a few years and now it's crashed, and that people don't really know the value that Bitcoin has and why it's decentralized and why there's no single point of failure. You know, you and me realize that Bitcoin's going to be around for years to come, if not decades to come. And since the fundamentals and the awareness have never been stronger, we really want to try and, get in, not too much, but as much as we can at these levels. Because do I think Bitcoin's going to be at $100,000 someday? Yes, I do. I believe that. Do I think Bitcoin's going to be at $1 million someday? I think that's very much possible. And in between here and $1 million, there's going to be a bunch of boom and bust cycles. And now that we're in one of the bust cycles, now that we're in a bear market and we have potentially bottomed out, I want to try and determine what's coming next, because I'm picking my spots, but I'm cost averaging. So to do that, I once again, I'm going to refer you to on-chain analyst, expert Willy Woo. His website is woobullcharts.com. And as you know, I've shared with you his information a lot. He studies on-chain data, and Bitcoin's unique in that every single transaction is on the ledger, so we can actually study this precise data, which every other TA guy in the history of assets, they study exchange data. And, what's interesting is that back when Bitcoin was, at these levels, around 6,000, I'm not sure exactly, Willy Woo didn't think the bottom was in. He actually thought we might have potentially a couple more years of bear market. Well, he surprised everybody about a couple months ago on the Coinbase podcast, where he came out to all his buddies, Coinbase, Tyler Jenks, and he surprised them all by saying, I am 75% sure that the bottom is in. And when you say that to a guy who thinks Bitcoin's going to 1,000, they were a little bit shocked. Well, after some more indicators and a little bit more data, about a week ago, he came out and said, well, now I'm 95% sure that the bottom is in. And just yesterday, and this is what we're going to talk about today, he tweeted out, based on this new information, I am now 99% sure the bottom is in. Actually, he said, I'm 99% sure that bull season is now. So let's check this out. And by the way, guys, if you want to support the channel, if you appreciate me sharing with you this information, do me a favor, hit the like button. Hitting the like button, it's a small thing you can do. It truly does help us grow as a channel. Let's see how many likes this video can get, and let's get into it. So this is what makes Willy Woo so sure. In Bitcoin's 10-year trade history, crossing above the 200-day moving average for any sizable amount of time, say 8+ weeks, has signaled a bull season. And even if we were to correct from where we are now to a super conservative trend line, that support would still put us above the 200-day moving average. And you can see right here, if we were to correct back down to a super conservative trend line, we would still be above the 200-day moving average. Bull season is now 99% sure. And now what would make Willy Woo 100% sure? Well, now what we're waiting for is the on-chain volume to climb. So on-chain volume is a proxy to long-term investor activity. And that's what I want to see for a 100% confirmation. So look for it after the price pulls back from its current exponential climb as investors buy the effing dip. He is thinking similar to what I'm thinking, in that I stopped cost averaging actually around $5,000. I probably should have kept cost averaging around $5,000, but me personally, although $8,000 may be peanuts in the long term, I'm waiting for some sort of pullback. And I'm not saying it's going to happen tomorrow. We might go higher tomorrow, but in the coming weeks, I think we will have to pull back even just a little bit. And at that point, I'm going to buy the effing dip. And you can see right here. So let's count it out. We're on the week chart, and let's count out the weeks. And I drew the 200-day moving average. Let's count the weeks that we have been above. So we have 1 here. This wasn't a full week. We have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We've almost completed this week. So we have almost 7 full weeks. And then 1 more week would make us 8 weeks above the 200-day moving average. And just like he said, even if we were to correct to a super conservative trend line, even if we were to fall, what would it be? Close to 50% tomorrow, that would still put us above the 200-day moving average. But based on everything else that we go over on this channel all the time, I'm going to share with you in a little bit, TD Ameritrade news, Facebook coin news, all sorts of stuff. There's a lot of reason to think that investors will buy the dip. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm betting on Bitcoin, really. And there was so tell me what you think in the comments. Does this make sense? If we spent 8 weeks above the 200-day moving average, you can look back on Bitcoin's 10-year history. If we spent 8 weeks above the 200-day moving average, will this signal bull season like it has in the past? I think it is very likely, but let me know in the comments. And there's one more follow-up. So somebody asked him, after we tweeted this out, they go, what is the probability that we're actually in May of 2014 pump area of the previous bear market as seen on this chart? This move looks very similar. So let's take a look at that right now. We need to go to Bitstamp. Let me just type this in. All right, here we go. So if we just zoom back all the way to that 1 month he was talking about, they go, what is the probability that we're actually here in May of 2014? And we have a lot of downside to go because the charts look similar. And Willy responds, May 2014 again? Next to 0 chances. Look at the structure of the market under blockchain analysis of the capital flows. If you look at that, it shows that the phase of the bear market has already happened in 2018 when we were testing 6K. So, Willy 99% sure he wants to see that similar uptick in volume that we have seen. You can look at his charts in every previous bear market prior, so you can see that after Bitcoin bottoms, there is a momentum shift up, a little tiny dip often, and eventually the momentum skyrockets. Not necessarily the price skyrocketing, but a lot of accumulation goes on and the price trends upwards. And that's what he is looking for. And he says he especially wants to see that with the eventual pullback when investors buy the effing dip. So that was the main focus of today's video. If you want daily analysis like this, feel free to subscribe, join our team. I plan personally to make a lot of money by investing in Bitcoin and select few altcoins in the coming years. A lot of people don't know the true value. It seems every single day that awareness is becoming greater and greater. And I can only imagine once Bitcoin gets back up to $20,000. Here's the thing. Most people think that Bitcoin was a bubble. But after Bitcoin, given enough time, maybe another year or two, or maybe at the end of the year, or sometime next year when Bitcoin gets back up to $20,000, this is going to leave a lot of people questioning, wow, Bitcoin is back up to all-time highs. Why is that? Why is Bitcoin still here? And, as we've seen, the previous cycle's top is nowhere near the next cycle's top. Anyway, let's move into some news, just 3 stories, and we'll finish up. So TD Ameritrade Exec says tens of thousands of our clients are interested in crypto, and almost all of this news is coming out of Consensus this week. So, quote, we get calls, emails, 60,000 clients have traded something in this complex. This is according to Stephen Quirk, TD Ameritrade Executive Vice President. He commented just the other day at the Consensus CoinDesk panel, and he later said, as soon as you open the doors, you're going to get a lot of people looking to participate in the market. And he also noted, this is interesting, he also noted that attendance has been off the charts at Bitcoin education events facilitated by the company. So did you know TD Ameritrade was doing Bitcoin education events? That's pretty interesting. And that this intense interest isn't just from millennials, but also older retail investors too. And likewise, TD Ameritrade has found that investment advisors, RIAs, are equally interested in Bitcoin futures, just as interested as the company's pure retail clients. And I can actually attest to the millennial thing. You would think that the people viewing this channel on YouTube is mostly millennials, but if you take a look at our analytics, there are millennials, but it's actually mostly, I don't have the exact figures, but it's mostly like 30 to 45 who is tuning in for, to try and figure out Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. Let's move on. This was pretty interesting. So this is the age-old debate. What is more valuable, Bitcoin or Ethereum? How about you? What do you think? Do you have your portfolio in Bitcoin, Ethereum, or both? So Joe Lubin, Team Ethereum, and Jimmy Song, Team Bitcoin, just made a pretty sizable bet. So this is the terms of the deal. If Ethereum is doing great 4 years from now, Song will pay Lubin 800 Ethereum. But if the dApp economy is sputtering at that point, Lubin will have to send Song 69, basically 70 Bitcoin. So this is the terms. If Lubin is to win, Ethereum needs to have 15 unique dApps. This is in 4 years. Ethereum needs to have 15 unique dApps achieving 10,000 or more daily active users and 100,000 monthly active users for any 6 calendar months in any 12 calendar month period, up to including, May of 2023. And to be clear, this is not a small bet for either side. They both acknowledge that whichever side wins, it will hurt them badly. And it's also possible that the loser will have to give up considerably more money in 2023 than they would today. So today, this bet is worth about $500,000, but in 2023, depending on what Ethereum or Bitcoin is worth, it could hurt them a lot more. So Jimmy's thesis, Team Bitcoin, he says that there's no significant applications, decentralized applications on a blockchain, and the only thing relevant in blockchain is Bitcoin. That's opposed to Lubin, who said, my thesis is that Bitcoin is awesome. There's a narrow set of use cases built on Bitcoin, and that's wonderful, and we love that, but decentralized applications are really useful. So I want to know what you think. I'm no expert, but my personal feeling is that Bitcoin has a much better chance of succeeding than any other altcoin. But let's just say Ethereum does succeed. The whole entire amount that decentralized applications could ever be worth is a fraction of the market of money. Bitcoin is competing to be a global money, and Ethereum is competing to have decentralized apps. Now, at this point, we haven't seen a good decentralized app. We don't know what that will look like in the future, let alone if there's going to be 15 unique ones in 4 years with 10,000 or more daily active users and 100,000 monthly active users. But even if that is the future, sure, Ethereum will probably grow significantly. But if Bitcoin succeeds, it's going to take the whole market of money, and that's a very large market. Let me know what you think. Perhaps you like Ethereum more. Let me know. And then the final piece of news, and this is just a big reminder that Facebook coin is coming. So for the past year and a half, Facebook started with a handful of people in their blockchain department. At this point, I know they have over 50. They have somewhere between 50 and 100 people working in their crypto sector of their company. And even just today, we found out that they hired 2 more people. Facebook hires 2 of Coinbase's former compliance managers. So Facebook coin is very close. Feel free to read about it. Apparently, it's going to be a stable coin to help their users transfer value across Facebook. I think it's a great idea. Hopefully, when they do this, they also allow users to send Bitcoin through that same means of payment, but we'll see. Either way, this is good for trust and awareness in the cryptocurrency space. And that's it today, my friends. Taking a quick look at the price, we've been consolidating at around $8,000 right now, and I'm sure you remember just a month or 2 ago when we were sitting around between 3,000 and 4,000, everybody thought Bitcoin was going lower. Well, turns out 2019 is a great year, and a lot of people are looking into Bitcoin and crypto. All right, guys, I'll see you tomorrow.